Hello everyone, welcome to Engineered Learnings. Engineered Learnings has been created as an effort to help and reach out to all the engineering students, aspirants and professionals out there with the basic understanding and the crux of the topics important for placements, vivas, semesters, competitive examinations and all types of interviews. So let's go to today's topic. Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So today we are going to discuss about the basic difference in the working principle of an AC and a cooler. Now people often confuse up between an AC and a cooler. Either they don't know the exact mechanism of working of AC and a cooler. They often mix up between the two and they suggest that you put an air cooler and it's going to give the similar cooling effect as an air conditioner. Is it so? Does the air cooler act in every ambient condition possible? Does an air cooler act in humid conditions? All of that is going to be discussed within today's video as we compare the working principles, the basic working principle of the AC and the air cooler. We are not going to go into the intricate details of each of the devices associated with the same, but the process of cooling. We are going to work on the process of cooling and we are going to look how an air conditioner cools down the air and how an air cooler cools down the air. And the working principle of the two are very different from each other, and that's why they do not act in similar environmental conditions. We're going to discuss about that where you cannot use a air cooling system. So coming straight away to the working principle of the air conditioner, which we are going to discuss at first, is air conditioner broadly consists of four parts: compressor, condenser, expansion valve and evaporator. Now what is happening in an air conditioner exactly? So you see a vapor cool refrigerant is going into the system. This is the cool refrigerant that is going into the compressor. Now the cool refrigerant is in the form of vapor. So the compressor, as we all know, is responsible for pushing gaseous state matter or a vapor state matter under high pressure and gives a high discharge pressure and in turn a high temperature. So a cool refrigerant entering a compressor comes out as a hot refrigerant fluid under high pressure and under high temperature. So it again is a vapor. It's a hot vapor. So a cool vapor that's entering a compressor is pushed at a high pressure and in turn the pressure and the temperature rises and it comes out as a hot refrigerant. It then enters the condenser. Now what is happening in the condenser? Condenser contains a fan which is pulling in the ambient air and there is a heat transfer that is occurring between the hot refrigerant and the ambient air. Now the ambient air is obviously at a lower temperature than the hot refrigerant. So the hot refrigerant is basically giving heat to the ambient air. So heat transfer is occurring here from the refrigerant to the ambient air. From the refrigerant to the ambient air. So refrigerant is basically giving heat to the ambient air and the hot air is going out of the system. So if you stand behind an AC, you will find that hot air is coming out of the system, and that is the reason behind it. The hot air, the ambient air is pulled in, it is made to come in contact in the condenser with the hot refrigerant, and the hot refrigerant in turn loses its heat to the ambient air and the hot ambient air is pushed out of the system of the AC. Now what remains is a warm refrigerant. Now we know that during the process of condensation, as the name suggests, it's a condenser, not a heat exchanging device. It's a heat exchanging device, but it is named condenser because in the process, midway, there exists a vapor-liquid equilibrium and the vapor slowly loses its latent heat and transforms completely into liquid. So this is warm refrigerant liquid state. The pressure though is still high because the pressure has not been decreased. It might suffer a little pressure drop, but the pressure is relatively still high. But the temperature has come down from this state to this state. The pressure though is still high. So a pressurized warm refrigerant goes into an expansion valve in the next step. Now the expansion valve is a throttling device. It's an isenthalpic process. It's responsible for suddenly releasing the pressure. as we have already discussed in the PVT diagram, that a sudden release of pressure, what does it do? The sudden release of pressure suddenly releases the pressure. That is, the throttling device suddenly causes a decrease in pressure. So this state point has a relatively lower pressure and even lower temperature. So what happens is the warm refrigerant now becomes a cold refrigerant. After the expansion valve, refrigerant. And this is also a liquid state, a cold refrigerant liquid state. Now this cold refrigerant liquid state, after the expansion valve, the warm refrigerant converting into cold refrigerant enters an evaporator. In the fourth stage. Now as the name suggests, it evaporates in the process. Once again, the liquid, what happens is, gains heat from the ambient air. Since the ambient air is this time hotter than the incoming liquid, it loses its heat. The ambient air loses its heat. So heat transfer here, heat transfer in the evaporator, heat transfer is occurring from the ambient air, to the refrigerant. So heat is given from the ambient air to the refrigerant, and in turn the cold refrigerant gains some amount of heat to get converted from liquid to vapor state. So it is a cool refrigerant in the vapor state. So refrigerant is cool and under vapor state. Once again, it undergoes compression, it becomes a hot refrigerant, it loses some amount of heat, it becomes a liquid refrigerant, warm refrigerant, then it suffers an expansion to an expansion valve where the pressure is down, the temperature is down, it converts into cold refrigerant, then it again heat exchanges with the incoming air, cools down the air, the cold air goes into our room, and in the process, the cold refrigerant becomes cool refrigerant under low pressure, under low temperature, and converts into vapor state. Relatively higher temperature, definitely higher temperature than here. So the temperature in the process, this is 1 state point, this is 2 state point, this is 3 state point, this is supposedly 4 state point. So if I rub this, remember this, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I rub this and write what is happening in the AC, so at 1 it is in vapor state, it is at a low pressure, pressure is low, temperature is high, not that high though. Second state point after the compressor, it is still a vapor, pressure is high, in fact pressure is the highest, temperature is also highest. Third point, after the condenser, it is liquid, the vapor converts into liquid, pressure still high but relatively less than this, and temperature drops down, temperature is still high, so it is 1, this is hot, this is cool. And finally, after the expansion valve, it is still a liquid and the pressure has dropped, so it is the lowest, and the temperature has also dropped, it is lowest. So in this process, it is cold refrigerant. Then it again gains heat and comes back to state point 1. It gains heat from ambient air. This is the exact, and in this process, from hot to warm, it loses heat to ambient air. So you get the working principle of the AC. Now coming to now you see this is the working principle of the AC. And in any of the processes, my friend, this principle will work irrespective of the humidity of the incoming air. Now what may happen that when the air goes out of the evaporator, since the air cools down, it might happen so that it becomes lesser than the saturation temperature at that point, and the water vapor in the air, that is, if this is my evaporator and this is my air that is coming out of the system which is cold, and the water vapor in the system may get condensed due to excessive heat loss. Thus you see, when you stand outside an AC, you will see droplets of water coming in. That is the water vapor condensed that is contained in the air. When it is cooled down in the process, the water vapor may condense. So if it is high humidity, you will find a lot of water coming out from behind the AC. This is the exact working principle. Now coming straight away to a simple working principle, a much simpler working principle of a cooler, a cooling system, cooler. This is warm air straight away entering a cooler, and the cooler basically contains a cooling pad, and a pump circulating water. So this is a pump that is circulating water, and it has a water reservoir. The cooling pad is basically, the water is spread all over it. The warm air is coming at a relatively high temperature, supposedly 50 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Celsius, supposedly. So it's a very hot climate. What happens is, this warm air basically gives heat to the water so that some amount of water evaporates and goes into the system. This will only happen when the warm air has a low humidity. Humidity of the warm air is low. So water is less. Water vapor is less in the warm air. And this is full of water. So a mass transfer of water will start occurring. And where will this water get heat from? Now the water from here will start converting into water vapor and will try to escape into the incoming air. So where will that heat come from? The air itself will give that heat. The air itself will give that heat, and in the process, there is a wet bulb temperature concept. In the process, the air gives away some heat to evaporate the cooling pad water within itself, such that a humid air will come in, but cooled into the room. So warm air that was coming in, less humidity with low water content, is basically water as transferred as water vapor into the air, making it humid air, and in the process air is losing heat so that it can give the latent heat to water for converting into water vapor, and hence getting cooled itself. So will the cooler, my question to you, work in humid conditions where the air humidity is high? Air humidity high? No, my friends. When the air humidity is high, you cannot use an air cooler system. Thus, humid climates like Calcutta, Chennai, the air coolers don't work. You will have to fit in an AC. You have no other option, because the basic principle of a cooler has at its base the term humidity associated with it. More is the humidity, lesser is the heat transfer, because you cannot extract water vapor from the system. You cannot give heat. Lesser is the humidity, greater is the driving force. You need water, you give heat, you take water. You need water, you give heat, you take water as water vapor, and you cool down in the process. So to cool down, humidity is the driving factor in a cooler, whereas for AC, it's the flow of the refrigerant that is the driving factor. So I think that will conclude the discussion between AC and cooler for the day. You understand the concept that where is a cooler required and where is a AC required. You cannot use a cooler under humid climate. So that I think will conclude. If you like the video, like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.